All right, you're welcome to another episode of the Friends and Family Show, coming to you live on Channel 1 TV, always at our studios here at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. How you doing, my darling? Well, we're in here today to talk about something very interesting, like always. You know, on the Friends and Family Show, we bring you everything just as it is. Whilst we're having fun, we're educating ourselves as well. I'd want for you to be a part of the show like always, okay? So send me a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. Don't forget to add your name and location. Now, what are we talking about? Do you have a half brother? Do you have a half sister? Or probably do you have, let's say, a stepsister and a stepbrother? We're talking about navigating the half sister or half brother relationship. It is hard. It is not hard. Let's know how it goes. Well, I do not have any half sibling, but I have guests who do, so we're going to talk about this. How has the relationship been? Was it okay? Do you love it? Are you guys cooler than real siblings? Let's talk about it. One more time, you're very welcome to the Friends and Family Show. My name is Noyo Kwote, and I'd like for you to get personal with me. Find me on Instagram at na_oyo_Kwote. And when you find me, don't forget to hit the like and the follow button. Now, here's what. I'll take a breather. When I am back, we'll get into the conversation. Don't go anywhere.
How do you keep thieves out of your house? You get a dog. How do you keep hunger out of your belly? You eat food. How do you keep sand out of your room? You sweep it out. How do you keep unwanted roaches, ants, and mosquitoes out of your house? You use Out multi-purpose insecticide spray and coils formulated with enough power to kill and drive pesky insects out of your house. Out multi-purpose insecticide and coils. Secure protection from pests. Get out. Out mosquito spray and coil. Sawuya bois. Faha. This advert is FDA approved.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of black stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show. Today, you know what we're talking about? Before I went for the break, I was telling you about, navigating the half-sibling relationship. I don't know if you do have a stepbrother or a stepsister, or probably you yourself, you had a step. But then it always stems from somewhere. Either like mommy came into the marriage with a child, or daddy actually has other children before getting married to your mom. Whichever way, they are stepchildren. So we would term it as half children today on the show. All right? I'd want for you to be a part of it like always. We get really interactive, and I love that you send me messages via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. Always remember to add your name and location so I can address you properly. All right, darling? And today in the studio, I have Margaret Fabi Abuahin, who is not new to the studio. It's not new to this set at all. How you doing? It's nice to have you back.
I'm good.
And I love your orange dress.
Thank you, my
All
dear.
right. And then right next to her, and this gentleman is also not new to the studio. That's Courage Novi. In blanc. He's wearing blanc. In a blanc shirt. In a white shirt. How you doing?
You didn't give me the code.
What
That
code?
today we are going warm.
No, you didn't get the memo.
The memo.
You didn't get the memo. Sorry. But it's all right. We
So
need a little
I
spark.
went neutral.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. When we mix you, we get nice colors. It's true. You're welcome, Courage.
Thank you.
All right, and then
Always
the
a
lovely
pleasure.
gentleman who's new to the studio, but I'd like to have you again.
I would love to come back.
Now that's Teresa. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I am assuming that all of you have kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you're from families that have like your step mothers or stepchildren. So now let's first of all, I want for us to define it. When we say someone is a half sibling, what does that mean?
So we are looking at either you come from the same mother or father, which I have both from each side.
Okay, so
So
your mom.
I have half from mom, half from dad.
That's serious.
Yeah.
So your mom's got kids before meeting your dad, and your
Yeah.
dad also has got kids before meeting.
Yeah.
So you are in between.
Yeah.
So your own is half.
Yeah.
Half here, half
Half
here.
there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So only
Yeah.
you are full.
Yeah, I am. I'm the complete one.
Wow.
I'm the
Wow.
complete one. Yeah.
So what does it mean? What does it actually mean to be a half sister or half brother? When we say half like that, it looks like
There's no
think-
completion
I
somewhere.
think I have that background where, to my father, I'm his only child.
okay.
But before my mom married my stepfather, so my mom had me. My
Right.
stepfather also had a daughter.
Okay.
No, break it down. You can't confuse the class.
So my mom went into the second marriage with me,
Okay.
and my stepfather also came
Also
with a
came with.
daughter.
Oh, right.
Okay.
But between them, they had
Another.
three.
Okay.
Yes. So
Unique. Yours is also unique.
yeah, so that's the half situation that I don't know how you compute that one. This one is half.
Yours is quarter half half.
Yours is quarter. Yeah. What about you, Teresa?
Well, I just have a half. So my mom and dad had me, and then my dad had another
Okay.
after me. So yeah,
It's just the two of you.
we are three.
Three.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're three.
So the other two from
Yes.
the other
so
side.
in fact, that's interesting. My mom has another. I have another younger brother from my mom's side.
Okay.
So we are two from my mom's side, and then I have one from my dad's side.
Nice. Nice.
So two on mommy's side, two on daddy's side.
Yeah.
That's you being the intercession.
No, two on mommy's side, one on daddy's side.
Daddy's side.
So we just-
Wow.
Okay, so the two from mommy's side, same dad?
Yes.
Right, nice. Okay, so now let's talk about what you remember in the very first time you met your half sibling.
So for me, I met my half sibling when I was young, at about 11 thereabouts, I
Okay.
think. I'd moved from my mom to stay with my dad. And I always knew that my dad had a child. So it wasn't like a shock or anything. I was just anxiously waiting to see who it was. And it wasn't dramatic or anything. It was just, oh, here's your brother. And that was it. And
I think usually when at the younger stage, it's quite easy to,
yes,
like, you know,
because you're already looking
to
for
accept, someone
family.
to play
So,
with,
yeah,
or,
so then it's pretty
So
easy.
It's quite
to,
easy to.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was it. There was no.
What about you, Courage?
Yeah.
At
I
what
was-
time did you meet your half sibling?
No, very early.
Very
and I was
early.
also very young because after my mom and my dad broke up, family said that no, I was too young to stay with my dad. So I had to be with my mom throughout. So until I saw the other three giving birth to
Oh,
So-
it's like a big brother.
big brother. And then I think my stepsister, the other one was older than me. So
Okay.
I was sort of like in the middle, you know. But we grew up literally together until my mom was ready to leave that marriage. So then I had to
Go with her.
go with her, yeah. And then
So the
go
others did not come with you.
not immediately.
Okay.
And even that, so she sent me to my dad's people, my dad's family. And then she left to go and
Hustle.
seek greener pastures kind of situation. Yeah, so that was the situation. It was from then that it took some years before reuniting with the other three.
Okay.
When she went for them. So at the point we're all now living with her in Tema and then grew up together. Yeah.
Right. Margaret, you?
Yeah, mine is unique. I'm a special last baby.
Okay.
My siblings are older. And so recently, I don't even feel I'm a half sister
Okay.
because these are older kids now, parents, and I didn't even have to play with them because they were older.
Right.
So I didn't even know there's something called half because my big sister took care of me. I'm older than her first child, 8 months.
Wow.
So I actually grew up with
her
her
child.
child, and I call her mama. So I didn't even know what it means to say somebody's a step.
husband,
No,
right.
and they didn't treat me. I don't know.
Different,
There's nothing like any different. My mom did so well because with my mom kids, you don't even feel it until my dad died only 2 years ago, and of course because
When they're writing it, yeah.
so that is where some of my friends even got to know that
house siblings,
otherwise there's nothing to discuss about half. No, there's nothing like half. We are complete whole set in the house. Yeah.
Okay. So now let's listening to what all of you have said. Looks like so at this point we rule out emotions because you were children. So there's no particular emotion like like you are from there and I'm from here. There's no
There's
like
nothing like
there's nothing like that.
It's later.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming to. So now, later when you're growing, now let's say you're in your youth,
Yeah.
that's when you start feeling. So was there any points that you felt like some people were loved more than you, or the attention was given to the other side more than you were given?
So my dad has this mantra of you can't have two voices raising a child. And so all of us were in his home. And my dad was a service person. They don't know how to discriminate. Well, at least my dad doesn't know how to discriminate. So there's no, I'm treating you specially from the other person. The others are boys, my younger boys. But when you come to my house, you think that we are all boys. The way we are raised, you think we are all boys. So there's no feeling of, oh, this person is special. Because he had this thing where he always felt like, if I treat you differently, it will come back to hurt me in a sense. And so you are siblings, there's no difference. If I give this person one biscuit or whatever, the other person is getting the same thing. So on my dad's side, you wouldn't feel that.
You wouldn't feel that. Right.
I think my mom did well in that regard too, except that my dad was her first love. So, and in her case, because both marriages did not last. So, in her commentary, you find her being more favorable in commentary to my dad than the second marriage.
Okay.
So then my siblings thought or felt, they had to sort of like stand up for their father, kind of situation. So, and I was the older one. So what I did, they decided to live above it.
Yeah.
Because I became their father early.
Okay.
Because both fathers were not in the scene, so I had to quickly mature to become father to them.
Right.
So no matter what it was, I knew that with age they will come to understand. So play that role. That's how we're able to keep it balanced and serene.
Right. I be the last baby, so
Auntie Vero was always there. That's my big sister.
Auntie
She's always
Vero.
there. Auntie Vero, yes. Auntie Vero special. She was also always there. Even my school fees, if my mom doesn't have, she will pay. She will send money to me in school. I don't even know what is called half sister. But when I go to my father's side, that I know these are not my family.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because that marriage didn't exist. My dad and they grew up very early. So my mom was just taking care of her children. So anytime I visit my dad, then I know I don't belong here. That I felt that, oh, these people are not part of me. But from my mom's side, it was just pampering, last baby, enjoying life. The only thing is that my mom is a strong woman and she will not take anything. I remember
no nonsense.
Yes. I want a birthday party. This one should give me birthday party. So I'm like, no. See your siblings.
We don't do that
yet. No, I haven't done any birthday party for anybody. I don't want them to feel bad. So wait until I'm done with all of them. There are 3. When is this? She sells in the market.
What will they do? Small.
Only for me to go out and know that, oh, it was an escape route for her. She didn't want to do anything, so she was just
that's what
easing
mothers
that.
do now.
Yeah.
You can't come embarrass me, please.
Yeah. It's
Did
only
you
when
ever
I visit my father.
do susu with your mother?
Me,
Yeah. My mother will not give it to me.
I don't know my mother. The money that visitor has dashed me because I said it's my money that you give to her.
My mom would
What would I
just
do to do
go.
then?
My mom would just go and search through your things, and when she finds money, it's her money because you stole it from her. Yeah.
Yes. Then I'll carry my money and give it to her. Because of
mothers
what?
are just fantastic.
Please. See now, she has an excuse to come and tell you that. She will ask you how you got the money.
Yes.
See, I have my money. I said, hold for me.
You've taken it from her.
She doesn't even remember that she gave her money to keep for you.
I used to do that. Oh, keep, and then when you now want it,
Then she
you now-
reminds you of all
Remind you
the
of
things
all
she
the
has
things
done.
they've bought for you.
Just like they
Yeah.
went to the same school.
They
Yeah.
all did. They did.
You were trained
They
by this
did.
You can't come across it. So,
Last
The
time
size
you
was buying
took,
shoe
last
for
time
you.
I gave you that money.
Yes.
Have you
Did you
paid
pay?
for it? You are coming for which money?
the food I cook, did you
Take
contribute?
yourself out of this place.
The dress
Coming
I
from
wear,
a
do you know
yes,
how you
yes.
want it? Because
Okay.
I've come to ask for my own money.
Yes.
You would describe me
Yeah,
in
yeah.
every manner. Anyway, now let's talk about this. Like, if you hadn't actually grown up with your half siblings, would you have ever thought, like, how their life is actually going? Like, how is this person like? How, you know, like, you're eager to know what's happening. If you hadn't lived with them or probably grown up with them, would you have sat one time to think about, is my papa or bao or to saying?
I personally think that I would have.
Really?
Yes. Apart from the fact that there's curiosity, I think that personally I love to have people around me.
you.
So then I'll be wondering, what's happening with them? How do I reach out? Like, how can we? It's the thing. If you know you have family out there somewhere, there's a part of you that yearns for them, whether the relationship is bad
good
or
or
not.
not.
Well, that's if you
do.
know
Yes.
that they exist.
If you know they exist, but if you don't, I mean, you really don't know, so there's nothing to crave for. But if you do know that there's family, you will go out seeking for them one way or
Right.
the other. And so I think that for me personally, I would have wondered, you know how in the West they do, I think, is it genealogy or something, they trace in.
And to see if they have any
I mean,
bloodline.
I'm sure I would do that.
Really?
I'm sure I would.
I wasn't going to.
Look how stressed me.
I wasn't going to do that though. But then, so when my dad moved out, then he started having that other children. That was, I think, about 15 years or 16 years ago, when I was looking for my dad, because I lost him completely. So I went back looking for him, and I got to know where they are. Then I saw the other half sibling. I had wanted to come with
Close.
one of them, the elderly one in there. But my dad's nephew called me and said, you know what? I think I've just married just a new person, making up with my family. He said, you know what? It's not safe. If you feel you have something to give to them,
Give them.
just give
from a
them
distance.
and have
Wow.
your peace of mind.
Thank you. See?
Auntie Fosti, I don't know wherever. I'm sure she's around. I think I have to go and look for her because that advice is profound. I'm not sure it worth millions for me because when my dad died 2 years ago, what they took me through, I was wondering if I didn't meet that woman to advise me, what would have happened to me? Because it's a whole mood on its own. They don't understand anything.
Well,
You're making business points for him.
thank you. It's true. I find you like what?
These are people. I don't need anything from you.
Yeah.
Our dad is gone. We just have to smoke a peace pipe. Look at how to bury him. And it's as if I'm wondering, I'm like, so if there is something at stake, then what would have happened? Then I turn back and look at what is happening at my mom's place, and I'm like, oh, really? They have human beings.
Hey, please, on that human being note, I don't want for you to be, I know that you definitely have half-sibling stories that you can share. Please, let's have them. Send it via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. I would love to hear it. There's sometimes they say that the half-sibling thing is a mess. Others to say you can't tell, because the bridge there is really closed. Even if the parents do not agree, usually the kids do agree. Yeah. And then they have this bond that you can't break. You understand? I think the only family that I know that have half-siblings is my dad's side. My dad's got two, his mom married 3 times. So the first marriage had 1 child, the second had another 1 child, and then the 5 that was left was from the final marriage. So
5.
Yeah, so the third, that's where my father, but then you really cannot tell.
Yeah.
You really cannot tell.
Yeah, these were good.
My dad
You really cannot
17.
tell. 17.
Well, they're 17. And
I'm blind 17.
17. So I have 17 uncles and aunties.
Oh, this one, they are 5, they are 7.
I think usually those who are with the mothers, the
bond is stronger.
Right. Why is that?
I
The
think
women
it's-
have their own way
Yeah,
of putting things together.
It
together
depends.
it does.
Because I was with my dad and our bond is great.
Yeah, that is
I'm
girl.
a dad.
Everything shows.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's true, because I know some other people that the man is even trying to put it together when the woman is doing something else.
Putting asunder.
Something else.
I think usually it's the one who feels offended, and that offense rubs off on.
How
the
they raise
children.
the
So that's
kids.
the point
Yes,
as well.
that's
I
actually
think
a valid
Yeah, so don't
point.
go with the children if you're offended.
Well, sometimes
What if they are
you
not
don't
old
have
enough
the
to go
choice.
with you? Like if they are not old enough to stay with their
Father,
Depending-
most
Their
of the
father,
time,
yes.
that's what they
But
say.
usually, I think in this setting, we usually find the women going away with the kids, rather
In
than the
most
men.
cases,
Yeah.
yes.
In most cases,
In most
And it
yeah.
also depends on the man.
If he's a
involved.
responsible man or
Yes.
not.
Yes,
My
they
dad
didn't
was not
have-
even ready to accept me.
Mine
He just
needed-
packed his baggage and left. He's not even interested.
That's a very
Then after later on in his life, he will come. Hey,
They come and beg. They say that. They say that. Say, oh, forget, he's your fat.
I keep but my mom is a superwoman, because I remember there are days that my dad would call me that I should give him money, and I'm like, Ama, who no fair me?
Ow.
And then they say, what do you be a man? Why? Who be a man?
I think that sometimes. I think that sometimes the love really doesn't go away.
It doesn't.
Especially when they're kids.
It
Yes.
doesn't.
You know,
And
they say all the,
my
yeah.
dad said it before he died. He was like, oh, problem.
Why do they do that? They
It's
wait
like,
till
he's
when
the
they are
problem.
dying before they say it.
He is the problem. You know that he's the problem.
I think that point. I don't know why they do that, because my dad did that too.
At the end.
At the end, and I remember he
And
sat us down.
When he was saying that, my stepmother was just right by him. He was like, if we are, I'm a dear, send your domino.
I'm sure we don't share the same father. I'm sure we don't share the same father because
right by him.
But you know, that was one generation where you hear a lot of, and another woman came to snatch him.
What were you
No,
doing?
but it's not anybody. They
No,
were
no,
hanging
no,
there.
no, what I'm saying
They
that
were
you
into the
hear
one.
a lot of that expression.
They were into
Well,
And so when
You were
hear
hanging
these
there and they came to
regret
snatch you.
tones,
Mhm.
How
regret
possible?
tones and all of that, then it feels like, okay, you know, it was a situationship. And
then
the
something
wife
happened.
didn't take it. And he should have been patient more and those things. But for me, the biggest, it's been over 30 years since I saw that half-sibling, the older one. And sometimes I do like, what's become of her?
Yeah.
You know, how is she? Is she still alive? I have no idea where she is.
Okay.
You know, so when finally reunited with the younger ones, because they shared it, my other sister used to talk about her, but I have never, I don't
Okay.
even know, because
Where
for
he
like 10 years, they didn't know where she was. And when she described the state in which she was the last time they saw her, you know, yeah, so
Right.
it's
So
really something.
let's talk about how the relationship turned over time. You know, we know that you're growing together, you liked each other, but you know, definitely you go to uni and then things just go different. Probably there's a little issue. Some people don't really know how to handle those issues. You get it. Then it turns into like you're all like this.
Yes.
And then at the end they're fighting with you over small property.
Small.
Yeah, you get. But then in the midst,
you say there's no property to
there's no property there. It's a fight over. You get. So how has the relationship changed over time? Because you grew up, all that I'm hearing from you, you grew up there, you liked it, you didn't have any emotions because you were children, but now you're adults. Is it still the same?
I think
Has it always been like that?
it depends on how things turn out. When it happens that one begins to progress ahead of the others, you know, then it begins to create complications. You know, but if everybody is able
It's
to
okay.
pull along and all that, usually it's fine. But then once someone gets ahead and the envy begins to come in, jealousy begins to come in, then the differences begin to show.
Are you sure that that one is with half-siblings? That one, even if it's
That
your
one is-
mother,
Even if
Your mother, father,
you fight.
Envy, you fight.
People who are envious, there is nothing that stops them, whether you are the brother or not. They are just
But I
like
think
that.
the different parents kind of situation amplifies it.
Anyway,
Maybe.
Yeah,
But
it does amplify
I think
it.
in
sometimes.
my case,
my
I
siblings
think
have
I
always-
was telling somebody before I came here that I don't think that I have the typical half-sibling relationship
Okay.
because what I thought would break us at some point, which was when we lost our dad, was what actually brought us together. Because maybe
lucky.
the shared grief and everything. Because at some point, it felt like some people were pitching us against each other,
Yeah.
where they're making you feel like, oh, your sister, like he's a boy, so then there's the feeling you are the man, you should be the one to stand and do da 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 da.
Right.
Who are not even family. Sometimes
Will
it's
come and
amazing, will
talk.
come and talk some. But for some reason, and I'm grateful to my dad. I think I always say this, that even though at the time that he was raising us, we felt it was a bit too strict, but there was a way he raised it that we knew that we don't have anybody apart from ourselves,
Yeah.
like apart from each other. So you can't go outside and go and be looking for the help or the comfort or the solace from
Right.
somebody. You need to depend on your siblings, and that sort of is what has brought us to this point.
That deliberates.
Yes,
Yeah.
that deliberate thing. And I think I already had experienced a relationship with a family that was not even blood related. Where to the point where when we go out, so there are 4 children, and I'm older than the last child. When we go out, I call her mommy. She would introduce us, and this is my first, this is my second, this is my third, which is me.
But you're not even
I'm not
part
even
of that
part of it.
family.
Yes, this is my third before the 4th. So it was. I've had that experience. So I'm not about to now throw my sibling
Yeah,
away.
that's
those who
right.
belong.
Exactly. So I think for me, it's
Okay. So
majorly right.
we've got some messages. This one here says, "You look super sweet today. I love your dress." This is Roberta from Airport East. You see, if not be small, sometimes I give it 360. Yeah. Some people will look at me some way. Otherwise, I give it 360. And then this one here from Dr. T and Kumasi says, "Looking beautiful now." Oh, thank you. I'm turning green.
Yeah.
It seems that the Western world has got a better hang of the blended family system than us. They don't seem so fussy, and there isn't as much animosity and rivalry. Can your guests explain why this is so? Because it's like in Africa, There's so much drama around blended families,
Lots of drama.
step and then half siblings. Well, before we get into the drama, I'll take a break. I'll be back. I'm still on the Friends and Family Show. Let's do this real quick.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of black stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com. On X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show. Still talking about maneuvering or navigating through the half-sibling relationship. And before we went on the break, we're talking about the gbasgbos in all the the half-sibling relationships. You know, there's always some kind of drama somewhere. And on the break, I was actually having a little chit-chat with my guest. And then this actually came up. That usually, the second ones, they come with the wind. The gbasgbos wind. Because if you had left the first woman to sit down quietly, you wouldn't have you get upset. Yeah. So usually the drama comes to the second. Say if they hadn't seen you or you hadn't done like this, for them to see you, there'll be no drama. And then the other one was saying was especially when the kids are of the same age.
Yeah.
You know, your mom was pregnant with you or probably had you, and then the difference is like just a month or two. That's war. There's war. How are you two different people, but then, you know, same dad, but almost the same age?
And I've realized that where the kids end up in the same school, and yet they are living with the different parents. So, for example, each one is living with their mother.
With the mom, right.
And the father is saying that I'm paying, you're all getting the same opportunity.
Okay.
So you all go to the same school. And in the case where it's 2 months different, so they're in the same class. That's where the drama.
And then they know, they are aware.
I witnessed one.
Wow.
You know, in a classroom, I was teaching them. I won't mention the school due to the sensitivity of the matter. But that day I heard things. And I had no idea that they were step-siblings. But I stood quiet for like 5 minutes of verbal exchanges.
Between the kids?
I tell you, and they were saying heavy things, like heavy. So after that, young teacher, I just warned them that never again in my class.
You didn't bring that?
Yeah, because the kind of things they were saying, I'm sure, you know, and they were young, they were about 13, 14-year-olds. So imagine your classmates.
Knowing all about
knowing all of that, you know, and that's why no matter how glorified people may make it, like blended family, whatever, I don't think it is something that anybody should wish for.
Yeah. Really? But some actually live cool.
Yeah,
but there's always that friction. There's always going to be that.
Your home.
Yeah.
From my experience and from others that I've seen.
And a shout out to my dada.
Keep it.
I think what he was saying about living separately is usually what will cause the bitterness or animosity that the kids will grow up with, because you're hearing a different story from your mom. The other person is also hearing a different story from their mother. Everybody is the perfect person. Everybody is the same. Yes, they are right in their own way. So for me, I think that what my dad did helped us. You are not staying with your mothers. I am taking all of you. You are staying in my house, and I'm raising you with my values. Even when, so it took some time before even I could visit, in fact, we could visit our mothers.
So he raised you as a single parent?
No, he eventually remarried. Yeah,
okay.
but I mean that my stepmother didn't have any kids, so there was no friction.
No
Yes,
So then you are
favoritism,
lucky.
these are
yes.
mine. Wow.
So we're all together, and we had to get to what he believed was a mature age before you could go visit your mother.
Wow.
Because for him, if you go, I don't know what stories they're
going to
telling
say,
you.
right.
By the time you come back, all the work I've done is erased by some story you've heard.
That's a
So
strong man.
we stayed with him. I started visiting my mother, I think, in my 20s, or I think somewhere 21 or something. And by that time, he knew that whatever you hear, you would be mature enough to pick
think
this,
through
to
it.
think
Right.
through it. And when I think at some point he was even jealous, because when I go to my mother's side, he won't call me. We will not talk until I come back. When I come back, it will take like a day or two before he will warm up. Because
That's
I'm here, I should be enough. Where are you going? You know, that kind of thing. But I
No,
think
was
it
there any
helped.
specific reason why they went to separate? Because for you to feel like that, yeah, and to hold me till, like, you know.
So I think that training helped us, because then we had like one mind. Yes, we loved our mothers. We do love our mothers. Even after his passing, we go visit our mothers and all of that. But at least between ourselves as siblings, we know that whatever happened between our parents is their
none of my
business.
business,
Yeah.
right?
It's not our business.
So that is what I was
deal
going
with
to.
it.
Yeah.
Because the minute you start picking sides, that's when
where
the trouble
problems start.
comes. Yeah. Especially if you're living with the bitter one.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
definitely would take
I had a
sides.
situation where I think my dad wouldn't talk. So it was my mom who narrated and who was responsible for the separation and all of that. And I said, okay. And that's it. How I relate to my father has nothing to do with what you said. How I relate to you has nothing to do. In fact, my dad, I had to ask him much later. I mean, just recently, as an adult, that I was just trying to find out his perspective, you know.
Me, I wouldn't have bothered.
Oh, and even
I
that you
think
realize
that
that
was
I think I wouldn't have
But
bothered.
he volunteered the information. I mean,
Because
like
I've
I
seen
said,
mothers.
you know why I asked? My dad never married again.
Okay.
oh, so there
So I
was
was
still
curious. I wanted to know
Why?
because I was not one when they separated.
He never did.
He never did. This is almost 40
He didn't have
years
side
ago.
chicks.
No.
Hey, how would you know?
How do you know?
My mom
He has
never remarried
Yeah, 'cause
either.
For,
Yeah.
for
Never.
quite
But I like
some
it.
time.
I like to talk to actually a woman who never married after separation or after death.
Yeah.
You know, when the men leave quite early. I really want to sit with a woman who's actually lost their partner and never. And then even the other side, because
That's
men, I know that even Mamine Yase
That night you need
I've heard
comfort.
it. Yeah.
That night they need comfort. that night.
It's true. They need comfort.
That night.
So it's hard for you to
Well, the
find.
women don't need
No.
comfort.
No, say no.
No.
It's like
You don't need comfort.
You don't need
Are you
comfort.
sure? Me, I've witnessed it, sir. So
Hey.
it's no news for me. Oh,
I was gonna say something. I've
No,
actually
and-
witnessed mothers walking with their kids by the roadside, probably walking them to school, and then you hear "Kahu utisel papeti."
And
In the moments of
yeah, anger and everything. My mom-
growing up,
baby.
I remember my mom used to say, "Papa, Papa, I'm baby."
That
one,
You know,
that one, that
to see
that
us
is a greeting.
To see us baby,
Yeah.
and now mommy brain say, "So it's like that's just."
Funny
I want to
thing,
say why all days.
Yeah.
funny thing, I look like my dad a lot. So sometimes I feel like if like my mom is looking at me, she just even after death, he's tormenting me. Because like, how
Wow.
So one of my aunties will like, eh. So in they say young one inshallah, like a lady looking like a man.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Let's go on to this. What is that one thing that your half sibling did that surprised you? Probably in a good way or in a bad way. Whichever. If it's both, two, you can share.
So, I know Auntie Vero is a hardworking woman, and she has always been there for me. When I gave birth to my first boy, she goes to the hinterland to buy foodstuff. She virtually stopped everything she was doing for a whole year.
Wow.
For a whole year. She was in my house. We live close, so the next town is my big sister. She will come in the morning, take care of me and my child, and when I resumed the 3 months after to go to work, for the past 7 months till my sister started school, my sister never went to the market. No, she was going to the market, so now she will get somebody to bring the things, and she'll carry my son with her and go. And I look, she was more like a mother than a sister.
That was like her own grandchild.
Yes.
Yes, because she took care of you.
Yes. So that's how come I call her Ma, because until she tells you, oh, you don't even know. You think that I am her first daughter, and I am so much grateful to her, because I keep telling people, if not for my big sister, I might have gone back to my hometown, because as a young lady starting a family and where I work, leaving my child, but she did a wonderful job, and I'm so much grateful. So I think after here, you need to give me a bill, because
You mentioned her.
yeah. Yeah, give me
Okay,
a
I'll
bill,
take some
yeah.
few messages and then I come to you for the surprises. Teresa is my half sibling, and I just want her to know that I cherish and love her so much. I'll never wish for things to be any different from how they were. This is from
that your
brother. You see, if you have come to say something small, no, all right, I am Samuel and watching from Temakum to 25. Now you're looking so sweet. Today, dear, looking so sweet. My dad. Oh, anyway, thank you so much. My dad had a half brother, and he is so close to him than his own brothers. Judith from Kwabinya.
Yeah.
It happens, right? That's if you can gel properly. I'd love to witness that.
Yeah.
Well, I know a family who've got siblings like that. The siblings are much more closer than the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, the children are much more,
Closer,
and you can't tell.
Because I think for proper function, you come to the point and realize, see, let's leave them.
Leave them and then do our own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
They will
them
leave
fight
us.
their fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
They will leave
then
us.
there's this family also that's the other sibling like to be with this one's parent mother than their mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does happen. Yeah.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Because they love it here. Because these children are having it. They're having the best time of their lives. So,
Let's move here.
To the extent that they'll call this other one mommy as well.
Yeah.
Immediately,
like to
you are
be there.
beginning to know where the problem came from.
Yes, they are moving this way.
Nice.
They are moving this way. All right, this one here says, now good evening to you all. For me, my dad married a woman who my mom brought in to help her at home.
Wow.
And my siblings, always called her sister. Until after SHS, my dad just told me she's now my mother after marrying her without us knowing. My mom knew about it, but couldn't do anything. What can she do? Without doing anything much, and it actually pulled us apart
With her
in the
mom
family.
brought the person.
Yeah, she brought the person, like I
a
brought you
help.
to my home
Yeah.
to help me. And then now my husband has married you,
It
add
used to
to
happen
As
a
number
lot.
2.
join me.
Yeah. Oh.
Hell hath no fury like a woman sword. That's what's going to happen in that house. Hell hath no fury.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, that would be so painful.
Yeah.
Really?
There was a
That's like a
woman.
betrayal.
There was a
Especially if you
woman.
can't do
There was a woman
anything
who was
about it.
fighting a lady in the market. I was just a young girl, and then she started crying. apparently she brought in the lady to come and help her, and now the husband has
Married her.
no,
So same
yes.
situation.
And they met in the market, and this woman, she's a very
Fireworks.
I'm telling you, a very respectable woman, but that you could see that
The
there's so
anger.
much
It's a betrayal.
pain.
That's a betrayal.
So
Yeah.
who will push you to
Yeah.
get married? Or
Oh no,
why
that's
so?
no.
They are
when
there.
it comes
That's
to marriage,
sorry. That guy is
I think the thing is that you see, they say this head, if it were a coconut.
yeah.
Break it.
break it and see what is inside.
So when you think that, oh, maybe the person might even be struggling and it's a form of even helping her, no, she may have her own motives
Yes.
that you have no idea of.
Sure.
you
But
know.
how are you also falling
But
for
one
it?
of the things that I
Exactly.
disagree and I've never understood is that thing that makes it feel as though men are objects and at will
taken.
anybody can just take.
But are you not putting yourself as such? You
No.
men.
No. No.
One day we'll go deeper to
It-
that.
it's something I don't understand. I think it's very demeaning for men.
So you think that they have their own reasons for doing the things they do?
Not just that they have their own reasons. I don't think there's ever a justification to cheat.
Okay.
Thank you.
And to
Thank
be
you.
cheated.
It's okay.
Never.
Let's leave it there because if we enter that side, it will be bloody. Yeah, it will be bloody. Thank you. Well, let me continue that message that came with the lady who brought in somebody. So my mom knew about it, but couldn't do anything much. And it actually put us apart in the family, especially with our new step sister. Yeah, because now you don't know how to.
No. So it's also a form of registering displeasure. I will not accord you that mother
Yeah.
status. Yeah,
Yeah, I
won't do
won't.
it. Yeah,
That's where the trouble to be.
I fail to recognize it.
No, but if the stepsister came in after your dad married the woman,
No,
what
not
did she
stepsister.
do?
Stepsister is now mother.
Yes.
Like sister, the person you know, sister,
Okay, no,
the
that's
sister,
sister.
now
Now
is
mother.
mother.
But then
and
the
now
problem has to do
children.
with the child.
With the
Yes,
child.
now,
the
now
child
she
is
also giving,
Yes.
giving birth to a
Yeah.
girl. So
Yes,
now
I
you're going to
know.
accept that stepsister. You know, it'll be hard,
be
especially
hard,
with
it'll
the
be hard.
person who's actually already looking down on the girl as a help.
Yeah.
But it will still be there.
if we
But
take it
Yeah.
from
It
there.
will not
But
move.
I am
They will
thinking
not.
that,
Yes.
I think that in life, if we are able to accommodate people who are not our blood, sometimes you just have to let it go.
Let's what's like this go.
Because the child is innocent, isn't
Yeah,
she?
the child,
you just have to
but
let it go.
It'll
The
be
mother,
it'll be
you
more
can-
difficult with the mother.
Yes,
Yeah.
than
I would
the child.
understand the
And
mother.
child
then
is
let me
innocent.
just draw the line so you and the daughter cannot cross the line. Simple matter.
Because I remember telling my
Your
other
father didn't go out.
half-siblings-
It's too like Rabbi Wall.
telling my other half siblings from my dad's side a story about myself, because sometimes when you walk up to them, it's as if my dad took very good care of me. And now
then
okay,
that's
and they were neglected. So one
Yeah,
time I
that
sat
is
all of them
awesome.
down, including their mother, and told them, you know what? I am what I am because of my mom. So please, your dad is here. Ask him. There's nothing, not even one, that he could write and say that
He paid
yes.
for.
So please leave me alone.
I think you brought in another
Yeah,
dimension
it-
because
Leave me
if
alone.
if I wasn't taken care of, right, and when my dad married somebody else, I see that my dad is taking care of the children from that marriage, I will feel slighted because, okay, why is it that he didn't think
Yeah.
to take care of me, but all of a sudden because he's married your mom, he's being the very responsible dad and all of that. Sometimes that will breed the animosity. But if all of us, the what's the called?
Quickly to cry, all of us.
Yeah, we are on the floor.
In fact,
Why are we fighting?
it was much later that I was talking to my sister, the one after me, half, and I realized that the initial animosity was because when our mom left the marriage, you know, she took me. The assumption was that she left with me and abandoned them. They didn't know that she took me to my father's people, my father's family.
Right.
You went
Because
to live
by
a
the
better life.
they reunited, I was with my mom at time and then they came. So they
came.
thought that also
You
all
all
this
along.
while
You've
been
been here
enjoying.
she took you and
They should
abandoned
ask my
us. You
mother.
know. And, so I also had to tell a story and say, no,
Yeah,
I've
okay.
gone
I saw
through
some
all
of
of
them.
this.
Before we go away, we just have some few minutes. How do you, so let's say in a relationship where you've had, the sore type, like you've gone south, and then how do you build that relationship back to heal? And like you with your father's side, do you want to like bridge that gap, like put it together and heal away from it, or you want to leave it as it is?
I have no problem building it up, if only they are ready.
They're ready.
Because even recently, I had to call one of them and tell them that there are a lot going on that they don't know, especially from my dad's family. So I open it up for them to know this. All they want to see is us fighting.
Yeah,
So there's no need.
Yes, the land that is available, you can't even build hen cook on it.
Oh,
So why would you let them come in now that the man is not around?
it's divide and rule.
Yes.
yeah.
So long as
I
the
see
kids don't agree,
that. I see
the
that.
uncles and the
that people
aunties
would-
have control.
would-
Yeah, I
Okay.
see that from my dad, and they are the younger ones. So I see the family want to co-opt me, so that it's like I am with the family, and because
Enjoying the show, I completely agree with the point that children should step back and allow their parents to handle
their
issues
thing.
involving half siblings.
They'll go and leave
100%.
you.
Yeah, how's that my business?
Yeah.
People are fighting, how's that my business?
Yeah, man, live above
Because
it.
if I come and ask you now, you not tell me. Say,
Yeah.
you pay the photo.
They'll tell you
That stress
they'll
me.
die with those secrets.
I'm not going to ask you anything. Come and disturb me.
That is not
It's not our burden to carry.
No.
Sometimes, no matter which side of the story we hear, we must remember it shouldn't change how we relate to our parents.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I also believe there are some details we may never know.
Yeah.
And it's okay to leave certain things as they are. Auntie Maggie, you look absolutely stunning. And this is from Julie.
Oh, okay.
I agree with this as well. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, stay in your lane because definitely whoever side you're listening to is not going to tell you the entire
full
story. They're going to
thing.
tell you the part that makes them look good.
Yeah.
Usually that's what happens. Now, man, you know, sorry, I'm not. Also, I know so. If you don't you get, and then they're going to put that kind of anger and everything in you. But when you listen to the other side as well, that's what's going to happen. There's not a single time that one person is going to. It's hardly would you have one
To
person
be
accept
honest.
that
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
they do
they
it on
won't
the
even
deathbed.
tell you.
I was going to say that.
Because
They do it on their
when they're
deathbed.
about dying,
When they're
my
about to
dad,
die.
like my
Now,
dad,
of course, not my matter.
like my dad.
Now that you're telling me I'm going to use it to do what? Exactly do I need it. What am I going to use it to do? Yeah, it's not going to pay the bills or
Yes.
anything. So you can go with it, please. But what I'm saying is, if you have the chance to actually, like, you know, close that
Peace,
gap and be
close the
together,
gap,
it's nice when, you know, as a whole family, nobody can actually tell that you're
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
the
really nice.
nicest.
But the caution, you know, a palm cannot shake hands. So it takes two. So when you put in the effort and everything, you try, and you realize
it's not
that
working.
It's not
from
coming.
the other side, let it be.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because
You
people
don't
have
want
their process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe for you, it's very simple for you. You
Yeah,
rationalize,
right.
you're fine.
It's true.
It may take the person 10 years to arrive there.
Yeah.
So don't force it.
But whatever
Yeah,
you're
but
going
just
through
keep
is
the
not
door
what I'm going
open.
through. I also have my own issues. Don't come and
Yeah.
add your own to mine.
Yeah, exactly.
In this life, it's this sweet life. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's
I-
no
You don't
problem.
have to,
Your
no.
parents knew who they gave birth to.
Yeah. No, the thing is, me like this, my outcast is crack. I cut you off. That person is like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Then But you know, it's nice when you have siblings who
Yeah.
are
You're together.
You know,
and
you're
you
together,
function.
and nobody can tell. Probably you write the same last name, or you don't even write the same last names, but you know you're there hanging. This one is always
You know,
there to pick up the phone, check up on
My
somebody.
wife's friend, the step siblings and the stepmother, right, when the father died, it was like it was their funeral. No, they came in for him. He is their brother. Like
Yeah,
they
stand
treated-
behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stood with him. In fact, the stepmother was more present,
Yeah,
like did
yeah.
everything than even the actual.
You see.
Like the other
that
one you
kind of thing, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if you get the chance to, you know, it's about if you play
Because
something in the
keeping
ball,
the
put it on
bitterness and all
website
of that,
Yeah.
really.
and let everybody go their way. Anyway, this is how far we can go. It has been the Friends and Family Show. we've been talking about maneuvering or navigating the half-sibling relationship. If you do have a half-sibling and then you are really close, kudos to you. If you're not and you think that you can try and be together, good luck to you. At the same time, I'll be back next week, same time. And my love to you always. You know I like it when you're on the other side, and I won't be here if you're not doing the watching. So yeah, please do. And enjoy the rest of your day. My love to you always. My name is Noyo Kwote. Mwah.